Well, hello. Are we live? I think we're live. Yes, hello, welcome. We are just slightly delayed due to some technical difficulties, but we are here, and we are here to witness a round of 64 winners bracket match between ScottishBrave44 and Acktheboker. So it looks like actually we just barely managed to make it out of escape. Hopefully things will just catch up relatively shortly. Actually, I'm just right in time to be able to see that fire rod. Yeah. Yeah, so just bear with me. I'm Claire Mouse. I'm going to join today relatively shortly by Fear Agent. He's just taking up, wrapping up some of the loose ends here. But we're going to hopefully catch up as much as we can from this race. Yeah, actually, it looks like our runners have already gotten some pretty nice equipment. Lots of blue. We see blue mail. We see a blue sword. It's got some blue bombs, contrary to that pink bomb that we can only, I guess, have us followed around. But yeah, let's see what always up happening. Alright, looks like both runners are actually going to give us a little bit of resources, seeing what the bushcrab's going to give us, and a quick lumberjack check. It was red and it was pointy, so no cane of Samaria today. Looks like it's just going to be a red rupee, so certainly not going to have to Aghanim today. That ice rod is actually pretty nice. I don't think we've gotten a map check yet, but you always want to see that ice rod early. And not only, of course, maybe it's just a small indicator that TR is going to be a pendant, but in the case that is actually not, you don't have to go on an ice rod hunt today. Alright, looks like though, out of escape, both runners are taking a very similar route, going up to Lost Woods, of course checking the lumberjack. Always great knowledge, even if it's confirmed that you don't necessarily kill anything. In terms of actually getting some output from escape, other than that cane of Burna, which does unlock some stuff logic, it doesn't actually look like we've gotten a lot of more exciting stuff. We've got a handful of like resources, arrows, bombs, and a little bit of money. Bombs are always really nice for Kakariko, just because you do need 3 of them to clear out the entire village. However, and that also means that we don't have to farm either. But of course, it looks like we're gonna get some. Okay, that's another really nice blue item, which is a mirror. Mirrors can be quite troublesome, and okay, so I guess Blind was really just hiding his treasure hoard here in his basement because we're picking up tons of cash. If people were ever, worried about being able to pay off the bottle vendor, or potentially even getting close to that Zora money, we're great. Alright, so looks like we're going to get a quick well check as well. Not to be confused with a wellness check, although maybe a part of SGL's modified hard item pool setting. We actually do see that runners actually don't have very much health, and this is somewhat intentional. As part of these settings, we're trying to, I guess, like gradually grow your health. And you actually see that we actually, I guess, picked up a ton of heart pieces, which got us to our 4th heart. There are 2 heart containers in the pool. There's a sanctuary heart, and then everything else is going to be heart pieces. So certainly would not be surprised to see people be in Dark World with like 4 or 5 hearts at this point. Let's see though. Nothing really outside of that mirror. We're all looking for a couple more, I guess, like color diversity. We certainly have a lot of blue things, but I think at some point we would like either something red, something orange, something shiny, something round. We have some moon pearl. That would be nice. We have a glove. That would also be kind of nice. So far, though, Kakariko doesn't really have much else. Alright. Oh, hey. Okay, so speaking of, I guess the entire village is like a bank. We just have to, go to the different places in order to make our deposit. Also gonna hide some money in a not-so-hidden location, I guess, on top of some bookshelves. Good thing we start with boots, because we can just get them immediately.
Can we start the race over? I'm ready now.
Okay. Hey, Fear. How's it going? Thank you so much, dude, for doing all of the back-end stuff and basically making this race happen.
Yeah, no problem.
Oh,
I missed my favorite part, escape. I like to see how fast they go. That's unfortunate.
You know what, Beer, there's no concern because we did not find the map in the sanctuary chest. We still found the ice rod, so no, that's the only important part about escape.
All right, so let's pretend I don't know anything about what is going on here.
Okay, that might make a lot of us. All right, well, so these guys after escape, pretty much just the exact same thing. Just explored out the village, and they ended up getting basically a lot of money and mirrors for their trouble. And now it looks like they're going to go to South Shore. If you are, for those of you also who are just joining us, as part of SGL, the settings for these races, basically from groups, from qualifiers to brackets to basically the whole week of SGL, we are going to be the exact same mode, which is a modified casual boost start. Casual boost with a modified item pool. So we're going to automatically start off the bat with a sword and boots, which of course make the game automatically playable. Speaking of more money and swords, okay. Mini Moldorm Cave has a third sword. We do get our shield, which is also our maximum for the entire rest of the game. But that tempered sword is probably the thing that people care about.
So SpeedGaming Live is basically casual boots easy mode, right?
It technically is a hard mode pool. Modified.
Tempered sword.
Yeah,
this must be easy mode.
Well, I mean, it must be because of the fighter shield, right? Because yeah, I mean, they've got so much defense on their side. So yeah, the tempered sword actually seems to be somewhat. I won't say it's just like observation bias, but it seems more common than not so far to have the tempered sword. Speaking of, also, we found a flute. That's another nice blue item that we have.
Yeah, and I actually like what ScottishBrave is doing here is with no moon pearl, and this is really common in casual boots, using the stored water walk to check waterfall fairy. I understand not, like you got the flute and you want to go activate it as soon as you can, but with no moon pearl you can't check that. So
yeah.
This a little more efficient, I think.
Yeah, and this actually, and right. So the downside is if you end up, if something kind of happens like on your way there, like for example, this waterfall, that heart piece, if it had actually a refill, it actually could have actually had her like lose her water walk state, and then she couldn't actually get back. But however, we actually kind of witnessed in Kakariko that they basically just got their largest heart refill, I guess, like from the village. So I don't think she was actually in danger. So actually, could be pretty good. We just see Quake on Zora Ledge. I don't think it's possible to get it, right?
Not with their current equipment, though.
Okay. All right, so I guess $500 well spent, right? Not even bother to picking it up.
I mean, they've got more than enough money to throw around. So what's 500 rupees when you got over 1,000?
Yeah, so actually it looks like Ack decides to kind of take a small divergence. We're gonna activate, as opposed, that was the other choice at the time. Gonna activated his flute to check out Saha. Had nothing. Okay, but we are gonna get an early Desert Palace Lenge Peak in addition to Agina. So no book means that we can't actually get into Desert, but of course, Desert isn't super appealing right now anyway. Just because even if we could get in, we don't have a fire source.
So they have to defeat all dungeons or all crystals, or is this infamous 4-7 settings? What are the settings?
Oh man, are these like new ideas for the league next season here, or just bringing up some great old memories that I'm sure people are loving to dredge up? So this is actually going to be a 7-7, pretty standard defeat Ganon. Speaking of standard, is also a standard start. That's why you were so sad about missing the first 5 minutes, right?
For sure. All right, so no Dark World access yet. No lamp.
Yeah,
don't have to worry about keys. There's no keys in this. Okay, so here's another question. This is a cash tournament. They're on 20-minute delay. They're fighting to make top 32 for the first SpeedGaming Live, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
And this is round 1 or round 2? Where are we at?
This is round 2 winners bracket, actually. So yeah, so both of these guys, Scottish Brave and Ack, took down the first round opponent. Scottish Brave took down Solsky in her round, and Ack took down MacTap, very well-known runner in the Espanol community, and it was actually. I guess so. I think I want to say the Scottish Brave was actually ranked seated lower than Solsky, so I think there's an official upset. Ack versus Tap though. Ack was actually pretty behind going into GT, and then he managed to clutch out the win. So it was it certainly looked like it was going to be smooth sailing, but certainly could have been it could have been an upset.
We see the Moon Pearl there in Spec Rock. So what's open at this point? Because they can't go to the East Death Mountain. It looks like Eastern. Is Eastern to play?
Yeah, that's true. The Eastern has not been visited. We actually just get a quick map check. Yeah, so you're right, Fear. Like, we have nothing right now. No.
We do Hera as well. Yeah, but it could be Firelocked. We have no Fire Sword.
Yeah, right. We also have no Hookshot. Yeah. So we have no glove. We have no hammer. We're going to get the Moon Pearl shortly, presumably. After this Hera dip. Actually, looks like those Scottish Brave is going to.
Oh man, this is so funny because this actually happened to me where Ack, I believe, skipped out on the Moon Pearl because their goal was to go into Hera, do whatever they can in Hera, then save and quit after getting the Moon Pearl. Well, he just found the hammer, which opens up the rest of East Death Mountain. So
yeah,
it's a little awkward.
I'm sure. Maybe they'll. I actually don't know what else they could find here in Hera. That would basically make his not getting the Moon Pearl, I guess, worth it.
Yeah, well, he's gonna grab the Moon Pearl just in case like the mitts are over on East Death Mountain. You don't want to make an extra trip. So you have a couple different options after picking up that Moon Pearl. You could bomb jump, you could hover, or you could just drop down and go the long way, or you could save and quit. There's 4 different options, and all of them are valid.
Yeah, actually, so it looks like we're not going to get anything more exciting out of Hera today. But also, we saw Ack pick up another heart piece, which I think that's both items out of Hera. So no decisions about basements. I mean, we can't do it right now anyway because we have no fire source. But it's never a good feeling when you have to come back up the mountain and it's like that's one of your options.
Okay, so looking at the pendants, there's also another interesting kind of moment that we're going to find out about, and that's
are you referring to the
Eastern pot are both pendants, and I believe that in this mode there are no progressive bows, which is the best way to play this game.
I agree with you, Fear. I'm certainly a big fan of non-progressive bows, and you are 100% correct. This is actually one of the settings, I think, or one of the modes, basically, in almost all of the other combinations or possibilities that bows are not progressive. And the fact that at Eastern and Pod our pendants actually could potentially mean a Mimic Club up GT. I know that Ack is comfortable enough with Mimic Clubbing to do in a tournament setting. I guess I'm not as familiar with Scottish Brave.
Yeah, we're getting a nice little hover here. That hover is not the easiest to do.
No. But Ack certainly's got his hovering shoes on today.
Yeah, and we're a long way from having to mimic clip GT. I mean, that of course is a possibility, but
right, yeah. But the fact that I was gonna. Right, but I thought you do mention that bows are not progressive just makes it just a slightly,
right.
If bows were progressive, like, there are 2 shots at it, right? But in this case, if you just have to find the one and only bow. Alrighty.
The community needs something else to debate, right? So
no, Fear.
They can only debate hovering for so long.
No. Dude,
bring in mimic clipping.
I cannot believe how much discussion there was so far. This is not something I would like to be further surprised past that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we have already, we're at less than 20 minutes and we've already gotten our first crystal down. Of course, both looks like a pretty linear path so far. Scottish Brave and Ack are just taking their hammer. As you mentioned earlier, that because they have East Death Mountain access, they're going to do some more exploration. Please be careful.
Yeah, just looking for a glove to get access to the Dark World. Once that happens, though, they've got a couple different options because nothing is like screaming go here. And there's no fire rod for like Skull Woods. There's no bow for say Pod. Thieves Town is a pendant, so
Yeah, we love Pendant Thieves Town. And actually, speaking of though, that ice rod in Sanctuary is actually a really nice pickup because Turtle Rock we do see is a crystal, and so we're not gonna have to hunt for that one specific item. And of course, we don't know any Mire entry, or so we don't know any medallion entries yet. So still TBD. We did see Quake, of course, on Zora Ledge, so
yeah.
at least we know about one of them.
Yeah, and East Death Mountain completely empty. That's unfortunate with that many checks. So I believe we're down to Eastern as far as progression goes.
Yeah, because so Ack did checking Desert Ledge for us. Not sorry, Agina for us. Did take a peek at Desert Ledge, but not that we really saw anything. But yeah, it actually looks like that is exactly where Ack is going. And you know, without that lamp, we don't even have Aghanim access. I mean, like Ack could try. I mean, like I'm sure both of them can physically do Dark Aga, but it's kind of it's quite the move in order to do it in the dark.
I mean, that'd be a pretty bold move, as there's nothing drawing you there yet. ScottishBrave gonna chink out Agina here, and then she'll probably head over to Eastern because I think she has the water checks up on Ack at this point.
Oh yeah, that's right. She has a waterfall fairy, but of course, this is one of the, one of the things that happens a lot in casual boots, right? Is you go to Ice Rock Cave, you get your water walk on, and then you go check some waterfall fairy or maybe Zora if you have the money. Actually, Zora right now is actually not in Logic.
Yeah.
We don't have a glove. I mean, you almost always have something to put Zora in Logic, but it's one of those, it's just one of those situations where it doesn't happen.
All right, so we have 2 more in logic checks. We're going to need to find something here that progresses the seed. I mean, it could be something as simple as a book.
It could be a lamp to give us one more access, right?
Yeah.
One more item access.
Yeah, lamp could in fact be the progression.
What if we find a bow in here?
A bow would be funny. I think my favorite part of SGL is the addition of the cameras, so we get to see reactions.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And Ack going full gamer here with the up angle.
Oh man, Ack is. If you ever listen to Ack commentary, or since he's around, hey, look, there's a lamp. He is certainly quite the entertainer, and the fact that Ack is here on camera for us just makes things even better. It's actually kind of interesting too, as you mentioned this year, because some people are also just very expressive, and then some people are just like stone cold, like stoic, poker face, like the entire time through, despite being on like half a heart, a cold stare, and just on fighter's sword, and they're just cool as a cucumber, like no emotional showing.
Yeah, like ScottishBrave actually, she's got a game face going too. Like she's a stone cold right now.
Yeah, everyone is very pensive.
I am glad that Ack turned the lights on so that we could actually see him this time.
The fact that it's a 3 p.m. start for him, I think this is just sunlight coming in from the windows. I don't actually know if there are actual lights on. Yeah.
All right, so it is Aga. We can confirm that it is Aga.
Yeah, you're right. Those were the absolute last in logic locations for both runners. The fact that we did pick up a lamp means that we do have logical Aghanim access. I think Ack is going to try to see if he can avoid Aghanim, just because if you can get something else out of logic, then you don't have to go through like the 5 minutes. And Ack has quite a few number of tricks up his sleeve.
So let me ask you this: they're going to do Aga next. On the unlikely chance that Ack finds a glove here at Hobo, do you do Pod or do you go to Hype Cave?
Oh man, without a bow, Well, it is appended actually, so maybe it's okay. While speaking of from a mimicking, these runners also don't have a bottle, so I think Pod actually would be a viable option for Ack. I guess I'm not sure how comfortable Scottish Brave is, but if she is either unwilling or uncomfortable to do Mimiclip, that could actually potentially be some meta for Ack to consider.
Yeah, I think Hype Cave is probably the safe call. Though there's always something in Pendant Pod, right?
Yes. I believe Pendant Pod has won many a racer, or has swung many a racer, many races.
All right, Scottish Brave off to Aga.
Yeah, actually, it looks like Scottish Brave is throughout all of the light world checks. She is going to be slightly ahead of that going into the tower.
Yeah, he'll have one check up on her, and that is Hobo. But we saw that's just $50, so.
Yeah, and I think Ack was probably willing to take that risk. Of course, going to Hobo, especially with that mirror, is you really entices you, I guess, to wait until you can get some flippers because you can just do Hobo much easier at when you're in Dark World. But if there's a glove there or something else that can lead you to progression, it's certainly worth it. Of course.
So Tempered Sword, Aga Climb is going to be pretty safe.
Yeah,
no
I was
bow, no boomerang, no stun item.
Yeah.
But Tempered makes up for all of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you would much rather climb Aga Tower with Tempered Sword versus Cave and Fighter Sword, right? It's just not only is it slow, it's also can be kind of dangerous. It's not like we have I guess from an NMG perspective, we do have a little bit equal or maybe a little bit more health than normal, but NMG you have Master Sword. If you're on Fighter Sword, it's can be much more dangerous.
They actually have a lot more health than they would normally in NMG because they have, what is it, 7 hearts and Blue Mail? So
yeah, oh yeah, that's right. That's a good point.
Free.
I forgot about the Blue Mail. Yeah. Yeah, and of course as part of also it's a.
Both are stone cold through this climb though. I love it.
They are focused. Ack
as I say that,
just starts jamming out.
As I say that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, good. That Blue Mail is really paying off here for Scottish Brave, because these red guards only do one heart of damage per hit. Speaking of no boomerang, though, for those of you who are more maybe familiar with this room in NMG, that blue boomerang pays quite the dividends. You can actually see that Scottish Brave kind of has to move around, pick up some more pots and whatever in order to get that key.
Yeah, but you know what? This is an NMG.
You're right.
Nobody cares about NMG.
Oh,
this is a rando world. We're in a rando world now.
We're just gonna ignore
We're quick swapping our way through this whole dungeon.
Oh man! Speaking of quick swap, it's a curse and a blessing, especially when you have that mirror. And one of the places you really don't want to quick swap right now with that mirror is right here on Aga Tower.
All right, so I guess people like to guess how many blue balls they're going to be here. That's a thing.
That is a thing. I'm
going to say in between 2 and 5. That's my guess.
For these runners' sake, I certainly hope it's closer to 2 than 5. Why are people putting in such higher numbers than you fear? That would be really mean.
That's because they're chat, and that's what chat does. Yeah.
Oh. I think I counted 1 on their sides. And yes, of course, regardless of the number, it is going to be seeded, so both runners are going to have the same number of blue balls, so no advantage or disadvantage. That is a rando-only specific thing, Fear, in case you do not know, because, we are in a rando world, we're not an NMG.
That's right. What is NMG? Okay, so that was pretty fast. That was a nice, friendly Aga one.
Yeah, probably the only real feels bad moment is if you end up like missing one of the energy shots, and usually, you know, it's just like a couple seconds, but you know, on the off chance, of course, that it is one of the last ones that causes you to get an extra cycle, that is even worse.
So we got a shovel there on the pyramid. I think
We
that
did.
even makes the hype cave play more incentivized.
Oh yeah, because they have a mirror, right?
Yeah.
So if then they can go further south. We just see that Ack in the cutscene decided to take a drink of some sort. Maybe that's good luck for him. Some effervescence to
Yeah.
spruce up his spirit.
Gotta stay hydrated.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this is gaming. This is.
Yeah.
I mean, and you mentioned earlier, Fear, right? Where we've got some cash money on the line.
Right.
So the prize pool for SGL 2021, Link to the Past, is I think right now just shy of under $5,000. First place will get about half that pot. So I mean, and I think payouts go all the way down to like top 16 or something. So there is, you know, you have a lot of incentive to make top 32 here.
And there's our first glove. I don't think you can do pod in this situation. No bow, it's pendant. You're still looking for a glove. It's like such a commitment if nothing's there. Whereas Hype Cave is basically free, and we see that the glove is just sitting right there in the cave with the gangster there.
The bat-like man who has confused many
those are sunglasses. You didn't know that? Those are he's wearing shades.
Why does he need shades if one, he's in a cave, and two, he's in Dark World? Like there's like no sunlight, right?
I mean, cool people wear their sunglasses in the dark.
Okay, all right. Well, maybe we can get Ack some sunglasses once the sun goes down or something.
I said cool people.
oh, Fear. And I think also like not going to pod. I think also is very reasonable. You know, if you end up kind of picking up something good over here, let's say like mitts. You know, you can just kind of make your way over, and then of course there's no real loss, right? You go if you end up your route at dip game, you can just always just save and quit out, go back to the pyramid, and then start over.
This seed is not fun. It's kind of boring, right? Like you get one piece and it opens up with just a little bit more, and then you open up another piece, gives a little bit more.
At least we didn't have to go through escape. Oh, I'm sorry. We didn't have to go through escape because I'm sure it would have been more exciting than something like this.
For sure. I mean, at this point, their options are Village of Outcasts or again Pendant Pod, and I don't think that's really a choice at this point. I think you do Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, and I guess there's always the option of going up to Catfish. It's certainly not appealing, especially since they started the pyramid.
Yeah.
A lot of digs, though, for seemingly very little payout.
Yeah.
Alright, alright, so looks like, though, both runners end up gonna go, yeah, as you said, Predictive Fear. We're not gonna go to Pendant Pod, we're not gonna go to Catfish, we're gonna flute and go to, looks like Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, you could... it's hard to play these seeds. Because you can play it safe, which I feel like both of the runners are doing, and just go into the very item dense locations, or you could go do those like one-offs like Catfish or Spike Cave or Pendant Pod, because you know Pendant Pod might just be bow locked, but there still might be progression behind the bow. We don't know. Like, it's how safe do you want to play it? And I feel like with cash on the prize or cash on the line, you got to play it a little safe because there's the boat right there.
Yeah. Well, so I guess we are back to considering whether or not we want to dip. We want to go back to the Pendant Pod area. Because we tried to. Okay, we had to go to Eastern for sure because that was our lamp. Got ourselves logical Dark World access. Now, of course, yeah. Do you go back? That's the question.
I mean, the bow is awesome because you need it to complete the seed. But again, now we have Pod, which is a pendant. Not even a green pendant.
Yeah, well, I mean, but
now open.
So you can go and you can mirror over to Eastern, and that's the green pendant, so that's potentially a good turn in. The Village of Outcasts, though, is pretty loaded so far, right? We picked up Ether, we picked up the Cane of Samaria, which is always a sight for sore eyes before Ice Palace. we can hear the pendant dungeon music as a reminder that this is of course pendant Thieves Town. Yeah, ScottishBrave was gonna say she does have her mirror out. Potential mirror here, and we've already found 2 items in the front.
Yeah,
So
I think if you find one more, you probably leave. If there's only one item in the back, I think you leave. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Are we gonna find myths here, or where do you think myths are gonna be?
Myths are gonna be a pendant pod. I'm calling it right now.
That's a safe bet.
Yeah. I mean, you know, yeah, we found 3 items so far, so this is guaranteed to be the big key. So probably it's not gonna be worth our time to stay. Now, of course, you know, like, yeah, why call pen and pod? You know, we already have the hammer, we already found the bow, so clearly those can't be a pod. And we can't get into the swamp quite yet, so.
Gonna do the front of Skullwoods. I like this.
Interesting. All right, so maybe she is a subscriber of the front of Skullwoods having some value. Ack looks like he is following suit.
He might just be doing like bumper ledge. Nope, he's going Skullwoods.
Yeah, I guess I never really like know, you know, for races, like how much of your prescription, your personal subscription to the front of Skullwoods has value versus how much prescription you have to your opponent. Like if you think your opponent's going to do this and you think you have an edge on them on execution, like you probably just want to do very similar things, right? Because you can always make up that time. Because if you take the same path, then you're going to come out ahead. Although nothing so far. Canis Mari has a very fortunate find, of course, for the statue room because, because nobody likes statues in this game at all. Like I think the Canis Mari has solved like every single one of those statue issues. Like whether it's in Skull Woods, whether it's in Swamp, or whether it's in Pod. Like.
So have we found anything? Have we found anything here?
We found the map and the compass and 2 keys and 2 keys. So unfortunately, no hook shot. Can't just do like the swag, like hook over to that block. And we're gonna go back and get the big chest. Oh, did she get grabbed? Oh no! She
got grabbed. Yeah, and she's leaving.
All right. That's I think that's the.
No, she's not leaving. Okay, she's just taking a shortcut. Okay.
That was a nice bomb jump on Ack's side, and is rewarded with at least an item that we know to exist there, just a piece of heart. So 1 item for sure locked behind the fire rod in the back.
So how many keys did they open? Did they open 2?
2 keys. That's correct. Yes.
All right. So the last item would be on Moth, then, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm sure she's she's gonna be very thrilled with her decision to come back. I mean, she's got peace of mind for sure. That's probably the most important thing.
So I saw green 20. What is that? That's the boots?
So it's either boots or the 4th sword. So both of them have been replaced with green 20s. Yeah. So for those of you who are maybe more familiar with like ladder casual boots, we're not going to see a second pair of boots, unfortunately. At least the icon.
I do like keeping the boots in there because it's like you see them even though you had them already.
Yeah,
like,
I know. It's
the boots.
Yeah, it's always such a great feeling. You know, you get to experience picking up boots even when you start with boots. All right, so speaking of another replacement, that is actually it looks like it's gonna be our shield today. So shields and bottles have been capped, and that they have been replaced by blue rupees. Unfortunate mirror bonk on Ack's side. And just because of like how big like the fire shields or like a bottle is, because it's like 2 rupees width wide, I guess. Like that's why you have the double rupee.
Oh, okay.
But when you pick it up, it's only 5. Yeah, but speaking of, we still don't have a bottle. Bottles are capped at 2, and they always come empty. So surprisingly, this has actually a much higher impact, I think, on runners and execution, just because you don't get the freebie like fairy or potion that, you know, it's like, oh, okay, I can go to pod, because I picked up a potion earlier, so I can potion glitch. But no, it's like you actually have to go to the potion shop and actually go buy something if you, you know, really want it.
So Act just did something that's a little interesting. Is they've been playing it safe and clearing everything out, not wanting to skip anything. They don't have the flippers, but you can always. That's not going to stop anyone from getting to catfish. And it looks like both of them are skipping out on catfish.
Yes. I guess does this kind of mean that catfish is kind of just like isolated? I mean, is there any other incentive?
So. I mean, you could have. It's a save and a quit because they've got the mirror and they've completed Aga, so you can start at the pyramid. But you're really close where they were. I'm a little surprised with how thorough they're playing that neither one of them did catfish.
I guess maybe if would you have more of an incentive to go over there if you get like the mushroom? But it's still in the light world tournament,
really.
right? Yeah,
I don't know.
It's.
I just kind of now hope that it is catfish since they both.
Here, we want these guys to finish, right?
They will finish. I mean, at some point, they will get to the catfish area, but.
You know what? After like 40 minutes of basically linear routing and like just like breadcrumbs at this point, right? Like we found what was our last piece of progression? Was it the glove outside of pipe here? The bow.
Yeah, we got the glove, right. And then now we get the bow. Now we're getting a hover.
Go, Ack, go! Oh no! Well, that was a very difficult hover. Looked pretty good. Just looks like get through the rail.
So we're gonna find mitts here, right?
Yeah, what you called it, mitts and pendant pod.
We're not bow locked yet either, which is interesting. All right, so there's Bombos. Again, the question is going to be like, how do you want to kill Homa? It's like let's say you open up, I don't know, the flippers. Do you stay?
Oh, Impendent Pod? Man, I don't know. I mean, so minus Catfish, they've been pretty thorough. So you would expect for them maybe to continue. It's a really not feels good moment when I guess you leave early and then because you're like, oh, this is like my one piece of progression in this dungeon, and then you end up finding out that you need to come back here.
I think mitts. If it's mitts, then it's pretty easy to leave. But like say a fire rod, right, which opens up the back of Skull Woods, which we know is as an item. Do you kill Homa at this point?
Yeah, and it's not even green pendant too, right? So we don't know what's on the pedestal. I guess so if there's an item on Homa, would you be tempted?
I don't know. I don't really know how to play this game.
No, but whatever, Fear. You know how to play this game quite well.
How do we? How many have you been counting items?
I unfortunately have not.
Okay.
I want to say that they're I guess I want to say we haven't seen the compass yet. Oh, okay, never mind.
Okay, so we have seen map and compass, which means there is an item on Helmasaur.
Yeah.
According to our tracker, Scotchy. Shout outs to them. Oh, silvers.
We got silvers. That's pretty good. I mean, certainly is going to make the rest of the stuff, the rest of the boss, especially like Vitreous, is going to be a whole heck of a lot nicer.
So at this point, I don't even think there is an option. You just kill Homa because you haven't found any sort of progression.
Yeah. I mean, what else would even be right? What else would even be left? You can go to Catfish, right? But it's like,
yeah, you're not doing that now. You have Green Pendant turn in and Eastern. I think would be the last thing. Remember when I said this seed was awful? The seed is awful.
I believe you said it was boring. Look at the choices.
I've upgraded from boring to awful. And it's not like bad, like it's it's tough. It's just, you know, like one of the aspects that we love about Randomizer is the decision making, and so far the decisions haven't been
very divergent, right? Yeah. I mean, you're right. So like after this, you are like right here. You're just gonna mirror over to potentially, to Eastern Palace, because we love doing pendant dungeons when it's a crystal goal. But you know what? As you said, like what other options do we have at this point?
All right, so set up pretty well for the Helmasaur fight. Lots of hearts, blue mail, tempered sword, silvers if you want to take a shot. Nothing really to be afraid of. I feel like Helma is one of those bosses that later in the game, usually when you're fighting them with this sort of equipment, is a piece of cake, but early on can be pretty tough if you have to do it with low equipment.
Yeah, heck yeah. I mean, so like one of the nicer things I guess about this mode is because you start with boots, right, and a sword, you can almost just like guarantee yourself like a spin speed Helma. Makes this a fight a whole lot nicer. For other modes, sometimes you're just here on fighter sword, even master sword. It's just like, okay, well, I have to live, and the fight is certainly not comfortable.
So we haven't mentioned this. We're down. Pod was completely empty. We have a clearable pod. We have a fully clearable Eastern, and we have a fully clearable Thieves Town.
Oh great! Oh my gosh, there's one item back there. Dude, that would be so mean, right? It's like you clear out the front of Pendant Thieves, and you find all three. I mean, you find 3 items that are not very interesting, and then you have to go back eventually. I mean, is this going to be just like an early like blind pull of Pen?
It might be, and then we might just find it on Catfish. So there's always that possibility.
Oh man, you were talking about how these decisions don't lead to much divergence, right? That is actually quite interesting. Okay, so after this, because I guess both runners ended up doing pod first, very reasonable. They ended up picking up at least some silvers out of, for their trouble, and they're going to be able to use those silvers immediately here on Armos.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
And then after this, they're going to go turn in their green pendant, and then what are we gonna do next?
I think it's nothing, you go Catfish, and then if that's nothing, then you know that it's either the back of Thieves Town or a pedestal. So you probably mirror back into the Dark World, or go back into the Dark World through the portal, mirror in front of Saha, and then if it's not there, you go to Catfish would be my guess. Oh yeah, Spike Cave.
Is Spike Cave in Logic? I thought you needed
without a bottle. I think you need a bottle for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you need invisibility, and you also I thought needed some sort of like magic extension. So it could be a bottle. It could be half magic, but in this particular mode, we do not have half magic, and I don't think we found it yet.
Yeah, I don't fully know the logic.
I guess I also don't remember, right? But I guess we're gonna see. It would be pretty funny though from the Spike Cave. Hey, though we found our mitts. All right, next piece of progression.
Okay, so now mitts opens up the Mire area. Mire might be fully completable. It opens up.
Yep. I was gonna say we have two. Okay, so we have 2 pendants, and we know where the 3rd one is. So let's see if we have to go back and get it. And we have to go back and get it. And Ack looks absolutely thrilled the fact that we have to go back there. Maybe actually this is going to be a good incentive for him to do Catfish.
So is Quake? Quake was required for Mire?
Yes, correct. It was Quake.
Okay, so we still need the flippers then. I mean, he could go get it, but
what if flippers aren't Catfish? That would be pretty terrible if I figured.
You don't have a hook. You don't have a hook shot, so you're not really incentivized to go up to the mountain either. These mitts, are fully required, but it doesn't unlock a ton.
Yeah, that's actually a good point too. Because we already checked like King's Tomb, right? I guess through like the mirror stuff. I guess we have Smith's Chain now open up to us.
Yeah, oh yeah, the lovely Smith chain.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't supposed to mention that when you're here. I'm sorry, Vera. That
Yeah,
Smith Chain doesn't exist.
I forgot it existed.
Well, exactly. It doesn't exist. All right, just forget I said anything.
All right, so we saw one item in desert. This is a crystal, so they will want to clear it.
And they do have that really nice fire source. One of the probably main uses, at least for these runners. Dark rooms are still not going to be much of an issue, but that fire source is pretty imperative.
Yeah, Ack didn't like the required key in the big chest there. He is going to kill Land Mollusk first, which makes sense because it could have the second item and save you a trip to the right side of desert.
Yeah, and he's already done Agina. Actually, both Scottish Brave and Ack have done Agina, so there's even less incentive for them to run over there, because if it's just here, right, you don't have to go over the right side at all. I'm uncomfortable with Ack having Bumpus up on his Y item right now. He needs to switch over to something else, please, Ack.
It's quick swap, he'll be fine. You can quick swap.
Alright, looks like actually Scottish Brave is doing the same thing. Oh, no, never mind. I was gonna say she got the small key out of the big chest, but looks like she's gonna go right side first.
One of these two runners will be correct. There's the compass. 3 silver arrows. Second item's on Land Mollusk. Ack will save him a trip to the right side. Scottish Brave realizes, I probably should have just done Land Mollusk. Alright, so the answer is not desert, unless at some point we need to do Pyramid Fairy.
Oh yeah, that could be a thing.
Is there other 5-6 Turtle Rock? Is that right? Oh no, the 5-6 Skullwoods, never mind. Skullwoods, wait, Skullwoods and Turtle Rock. I can't see properly. Well, I can't even tell. Is it Turtle Rock and which ones are 5-6?
It does look like Turtle Rock is our 5-6, in addition to Desert. So
okay.
Pyramid Fairy, yeah. Well, we are still a fire rod away from that.
Yeah. Are we getting a Smith chain check from Ack, or is he going to the back of Thieves Town? Yeah, he's going Smith chain.
I think this is also pretty reasonable, right? Like Smith chain will get you, I guess, guaranteed 2 items. We don't have powder or mushroom, so I guess we're gonna leave the magic bath for the time being.
I don't know if you know this, but Smith chain will get you a guaranteed 3 items.
It'll get you a guaranteed 3 items. 1 off the Smith, 1 off the hammer pegs, and 1 off the purple chest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so purple hammer pegs here. There's the fire rod.
Speaking of immediate payout, well, so what do you do? Do you just run back up and go do Swallow Woods?
I think you turn it. I mean, obviously, you got to turn in the Smith. I think you do purple chest as well, since you have the flute.
Oh right, yeah, and free. Yeah, and we've already done like South Dark World already because we were already here with the mirror. Hey, we got a heart container. One of, I guess, 3 effective heart containers in the entire game.
Did X skip checkerboard, or did I just miss that?
I thought he did checkerboard, but okay. But maybe not.
All right, just a single rupee from the lunchbox there. But this will be a Skullwoods play, and this will get another item because we know that there's. Well, maybe no. He's making a liar of me. Is he going Ice Palace?
Whoa, what a play. Maybe,
You know what
maybe he's doing his, he's setting up a water walk here?
Yeah, this is Quake.
Alright, okay,
I understand getting Quake, wanting to do Mire, but is Skullwoods, or Swamp Palace is a crystal. So I'm not sure the need to get Quake immediately.
Maybe he's hoping to, I guess, go mode Swamp or something. I mean, like, so Mire, once he gets in, is going to be another clearable crystal dungeon for him.
Sure.
And I guess maybe depending on where that big key is, I guess an Axe sake, or currently in his mindset, maybe he's hoping that the big key is late because then you have to go through the entire dungeon anyway.
I mean, it's a possibility that flippers are just on Moth, right? Like,
yeah,
and that is a
true.
crystal. So I feel like doing Moth would probably be the safe bet here.
I wonder if he wants to maybe also delay it, if he wants to make a decision about pedestal. Like, you know, maybe he can find the book before then. Not that you want to find the book at all. Oh, super smooth, Ack. Nice job.
It's also possible he's heading up to Turtle Rock, because I see they're talking about. Because that would be fully clearable now as well.
Wait. Oh, I guess, okay, so ScottishBrave, I guess, is not doing purple chest, because I don't think she talked to it, so that means it's not activated. But looks like, yeah, she's gonna go to Skull Woods and follow that fire rod immediately. Ack, though, also looks like he is following suit.
Now I really hope that flippers are on Moth.
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, Ack did such a good job though. Like, you know, doing the water walk.
Yeah, he did a great job. It was awesome. It is also slower if the flippers are right here. You got to go in, you got to dash, you got a screen transition. I mean, it's definitely slower, but he has it. So.
Yeah, I do wonder. Okay, so right now for Ack, like Catfish is like even more isolated than it was before, which I didn't think was possible. But for Scotch, if flippers are here, is that a combo with Catfish at this point?
I don't know. I feel like Catfish is basically dead to both of them.
Until it has progression.
Yeah. It just doesn't exist at this point for them. What do you think is going to be a Moth? Anything? Are we going to find anything here?
You know, you've said flippers like so many times now. I've been envisioning like the flippers being like dropped down from Aqua.
It's possible. It's definitely possible. I think Turtle Rock actually seems like a pretty good play. Especially if it's not Quake.
Oh no, Ack. These sword beams, man.
Yeah, you almost want to take a heart of damage to get rid of those sword beams. Just $50 though.
Yeah, actually it looks like so Ack is also going into Mothula. He did wait for the hand to make sure he doesn't get grabbed. Fun or maybe not so fun fact, in his earlier race against Mactap, he actually tried to wait for the hands, waited for it, and then got grabbed anyway. And it was just really sad.
You know what actually is a worse spot than Catfish at this point?
I'm trying to think what that could be. What do you think it is?
Back of Thiefstown.
Oh, that is also bad. Yes, yeah, I agree. That's well, I guess. Man. So, what do you think is less likely for your opponent to do?
Back of Thiefstown.
Back of Thiefstown?
Yeah.
Okay, so out of all of the less appealing choices, we are on our most appealing one, which I guess is like the most item dense at this point, right? And unfortunately, with no hookshot, as you mentioned, we have to basically go the ultra long version in order to come up here. But this is going to be good, though. Like, they have the mirror, they have the mitts, and so they have tons of stuff open to them up in the mountain. and maybe we can get a redemption arc on Ack's side if he's willing to access some more items in Hookshot Cave. Okay, so it looks like actually at least Turtle Rock Entreat is going to be Ether, so nothing. So actually, in this case, ScottishBrave was safe, I guess, taking the chance that the Entreat medallion was not Quake.
Yeah, so I mean, they definitely need Quake, but I think ScottishBrave at this point will get it with the flippers, which will save just a little bit of time there.
Yeah,
which
because
I think she needs to make up, and I think that it's going to keep things really close.
Yeah, and I forgot what I was going to say. Okay, I guess we're gonna see whether. Oh, Ack. Okay, Ack doesn't need anything else for Turtle Rock. He is immediately going in. Oh no! You definitely saw an eye roll there. I was like, oh, I meant to bog instead of picking up the pot.
Yeah, and that jelly just getting in the way too.
All right, so
they are hookshot flippers from Go Mode.
Hookshot flippers from Go. Okay, yeah. So actually, this is going to be interesting. Do you think Ack, if he doesn't find anything here in Turtle Rock, he is going to take out Hookshot Cave?
I think if you're here, I suppose. I don't know.
I guess if you don't have flippers, I guess you would do it, right? Because flippers can lock hookshot, but if you guys have flippers, then you don't, right?
I don't know. I don't think there's a situation where you hover a hookshot cave here. I don't, because you need both for swamp basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it looks like actually kudos to both runners, ScottishBrave and Ack, because they both remember that they didn't have the hook shot. Maybe ScottishBrave is a bit fresher on her mind because she was just in Hookshot Cave. Alright, so that's another heart container, so I guess one more potentially here in the pool. But actually, speaking of though, this is actually pretty healthy. Because they found Blue Mill pretty early, and they already have 11 hearts at this point. Ack taking advantage basically of all this health, doesn't even flinch when he faces these change jumps. Speaking of safeties, though, it looks like actually this is so far what they have, right? I mean, they have a lot of health and they have armor, but no mushroom, no powder, no bottle. Like, I guess they have the Cane of Burna, but like no cape either. I don't know. GT might be still a bit questionable. Wouldn't it be fun if we found a bottle and the progression was on Sick Kid?
That would be awesome.
So Catfish is gonna have our like logically accessible bottle, and then we're gonna go to Sick Kid for like the hook shot or something.
I do love how close this race is.
I would say execution-wise, though, both of these runners are definitely keeping it cool, right?
Yeah.
Just basically very steadily making their way through Turtle Rock. But I guess so far, so Sophia, what do you think about like, if you're playing the seed, in this type of situation, one-on-one against an opponent, like, and it seems like so far the seed is like pretty linear. Right? Like, as in, like, you're just getting, like, piece of progression after piece of progression, but it's kind of leading you to, like, very specific locations, right? You got the mist, now we're going to go up to Turtle Rock and do a bunch of stuff. Are you feeling good, bad, as a runner? Like, does it matter about your opponent? Do you want this kind of seed in order to try and advance?
I feel like there's not a lot of room for mistakes in the seed as far as decision-making goes. I feel like both of them are probably feeling pretty good. You got to be confident in your execution. I don't know. This is a tough one.
I mean, yeah, and this is also round of 32, right? It's 32. No, we're not there yet. This is second round. So certainly, you know, even if you make top 120, it's already quite the testament to your skill ability. The fact that we're like one round into brackets has like the execution level has just gotten, it's just so good, and the variance is actually narrowed significantly. Like these opponents are like, you don't have 3 matches at this point.
Yeah, I mean, we're rooms apart at this point, and yeah, it's going to be close. I feel like you feel confident. Both of them have to feel pretty confident with how they played so far.
Yeah, I mean, there are like probably been some like minor hiccups that have annoyed these runners. Just because it's like, oh, this is just a silly mistake, right? For example, Scottish Brave picking up a pot and hookshot cave, right? It's like, oops, right? But it's like, if that's the worst thing that you're doing this entire sea, like, yeah, as you said, you're probably feeling pretty good.
Right. No, like major deaths or like big routing errors where you felt like you wasted a bunch of time in a certain spot. Right. So TR has been pretty empty, but here we are on Laser Bridge.
Which always, of course, has progression, right?
I mean, you would think. All right, so
hey,
there's the hook shot.
There's a hook shot. So
now Flipper's go mode,
right?
Which again kind of makes sequence break in the Quake a little silly at this point. I understand what he was doing though. He was ensuring that he had entrance into Turtle Rock. Making sure he saved a trip up the mountain.
Yeah, I mean, it's the amount of time extra that he spends over Scottish Brave certainly is good insurance, right? Because another trip up the mountain here would have just been pretty devastating.
Yeah.
Alright, looks like Acktheboker's already on try next, narrowly beating out Scottish Brave, who will be there momentarily. Looks like no backdoor strats, but Ack is doing just fine. The nice thing, of course, is that there's no ice on the ground. Looks like actually Scottish Brave is going to be a bit more conservative. Maybe she's a little bit concerned about the health, as we said, right? This, we have nothing else really. This is all we're going to get, and if you end up dying here, you are not happy.
Yeah.
Unfortunate, no heart refill, no convenient heart refill on the heart piece. So we're just gonna go beat Trinex.
All right, so where are the flippers? They're not an ice palace. We know that. They're just going to be hookshot cave, right?
Yes.
They can't be mire, ice, or swamp, which are the last 3 dungeons they need to complete. So they get to go mode all 3 of those dungeons. We don't have a lot left. There's Spike Cave, Catfish, Ped, Back of Thieves Town, and then Hookshot Cave. Oh, there's the mushroom. There's an additional
great. Well, I guess with the flute, it's not so bad now.
So not Hookshot Cave unless it is the mushroom. There's Charnix down for Scottish Brave. I think she already checked Super Bunny.
Correct. Yeah. So so her path over was she came up, did Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny, and then went back to Trinex. Or sorry, Trinex Turtle Rock. But yeah, so it actually looks like so no one has made their way over to the light world yet. Looks like Ack is going to get us our first check over to something new, which is in this case Spike Cave.
Nice.
Scottish Brave. Oh, that's right. I forgot that she ended up just checking the first chest, and lo and behold, we got the hook shots. So we can check the rest.
Yep. All right. Putting the Cane and Burner to use, and we have $20.
Yeah, not useful. Okay, though it looks
There's-
like.
Is it going to be catfish?
Is that where
Where-
Ack's going? Ack is where's he going?
What are the few locations that we have? Where are the flippers? Do you think? Make your prediction now.
Well, I'm trying to figure out where he's going. Oh, he's doing Pyramid Fairy. I got it. I was like, where? I was actually wondering if he wanted to go to like Ice Palace or something.
Another location forgot about.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's right. Because normally, like when you see Turtle Rock as a 5/6 crystal, it's like I don't know. At least like it's very easy to write it off because you just need so much stuff, right?
Yeah.
But we got the ice rod really early, so. Ack is also saying he's showing us a nice shortcut, remembering that they defeated Agnem, so we don't have to go around to the hammer pegs again. Oh, okay, so we're gonna get some new checks on both sides. Scottish Brave is also turning in her mushroom.
Nice. Mushroom leads to 10 arrows.
That is not progression, but was it a refill even?
There's $5. There's the flipper.
All right, that is go mode for Ack. Finding flippers at Pyramid Fairy, so he has played the seed quite well. So he knows now. Okay, so maybe in the back of his head he's thinking, well, you know, like, too bad I spent that maybe a little bit extra time getting Quake, but you know he's got full insurance, and now he can go mode some really nice dungeons, right? He can go mode Swamp Palace, which is super great. He can go mode Ice Palace, also really nice with the King of Samaria, and I guess depending on where the big key is, Myra could be quite quick. Oh, looks like though Scottish Brave is hot on Axe heels.
Yeah, here we go. I mean, at this point, it's a foot race.
It's a boots race, yes. I agree. Man, I really like starting boots, man. It just makes things like, even when I think you're frustrated or maybe tilted, like, it's like you have one fewer thing to tilt you, which is like, you never find boots, you don't know where boots are, you're just holding right for, you know, an hour or something like that. But this is actually, I don't know, I guess maybe like depending on how you felt maybe in the early game, like things maybe were a bit slower just in terms of how you got progression, but it was at least like somewhat, you know, linear. I didn't have to make, as you said, too many decisions, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like the seed, basically you just picked up your go mode. It was also go mode for Scottish Brave, and now you get to basically go mode like, what, 3 dungeons at this point. It must be a good feeling. And of course, for this seed, right, they found Tempered Sword pretty early, so just very comfortable execution.
Yeah, this is where I think you get nervous, because the finding all the items, it was again very, very linear. Now it's all about just performing and doing your best to minimize the mistakes here. All about execution. Scottish Brave doing Ice Palace now. It does need to pick up a Quake still.
Yeah, and of course, I think both runners ended up checking Zora Lush pretty early. You can see that she's very confident, basically just go moding Ice Palace, so she knows exactly what's going on. Ack trying to get Diver down. I don't think the block is left enough. That one maybe looks better, but oh no, he nudged it. All right, okay. First time's a charm. Gonna pick up that extra heart, I guess, for safety. And yeah, of course, at this point, you know, they have 12 hearts, or sorry, 11 hearts. I don't even think there's anything else that could just help them at this point. They got temper, they got silvers. I guess maybe a bottle, maybe powder. Like I guess they're like, I don't know. Okay, how valuable do you think like powder or bottle would be here? Like, would you still be opening up?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, a bottle would be nice, but they've got silvers and temper. They've got 2 rows of a second row of hearts. I feel like at this point you got to be comfortable with that situation, especially with blue metal as well.
All right, so Ack is already on Argus. It's just gonna hook slash. So something so nice about Tempered Sword. Alright, also first arrow down in for Argus, and Ack picks up his next crystal. I don't even know what the layout is for Swamp Palace. When you see a big key, that means, I don't know, you're probably going back if you weren't go loading this place.
Yeah.
Isn't it nice, Veer? We didn't have to do Catfish, we didn't have to do Back of Thieves Town. We didn't have to go check Sukin because we have no idea where the bottles are at this point.
Yeah, totally.
Okay, so it looks like ScottishBrave is opting to use bombos to break the shell. Probably wants to use some Revirot shots here on Cold Stare. So since also we don't have a bottle, we can't do anything extra.
And gets a nice double spin there.
Yeah, that was really nice puff positioning. Did more to get that. So presumably right now, because ScottishBrave doesn't have Quake yet, she's going to grab it right after Ice Palace and then go over to Swamp. Or do you go over to Swamp now and then...
No, this is as close as you're going to be to Zora's Ledge. So you mirror here, swim over, and then you could save and quit and finish off either Swamp.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you have to save and quit because we can't... Why can't we do anything inside Zora's domain? We don't know. I don't know why the flute doesn't work there. Maybe, like, the flute, like, the bird can't hear the flute among all of this, like, water noise, right? Because you got the waterfall and,
I know.
And all things like that.
What the heck? Come on, bird.
Alright, Ack is gonna try and do his Icebreaker. Another trick that we are very grateful with for the King of Samaria. Alright, looks great. Yeah, Ack not even gonna bother to check that chest.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing really at this point to open. It's go time. ScottishBrave running out too here.
Oh, I guess she wants the flute instead of saving quitting.
Sure. I'm not sure which is faster.
Yeah, that's I don't know. I'm pretty tempted to say that saving quitting is faster, just because like running out of running out of Zora's domain, it just feels so slow. But I guess I've never actually timed it. So if only there was like a, I don't know, is there an NMG extra? Like this isn't. I don't even know if this is part of NMG. Maybe we just need someone to time this.
Yeah. What a strange seed, though, right? Like, Ag are required. You get the bow to kill Armos to get the mitts off of the green pendant.
Yeah,
and you go back up to the mountain to get the other 5/6 crystal to get both hookshot and flippers. It's just.
I mean, you would certainly be able to route this a little bit better with a spoiler lock. Yes, I agree. But this is actually kind of interesting, right? So we had to do green pendant Armos for progression, but I guess pod was empty, right, outside of the silvers.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't need it.
Yeah, pod was completely empty.
So I think this being winner's bracket, regardless of the result of this match, neither runner, of course, is out of the competition because this is double elimination. The winner of this race, of course, is going to move on to the round of 64, and then and there's just one more. Then the winner of that race is going to be moving on to top 32. It's going to be.
So do you know who? Do you have the bracket pulled up? Do you have who they would play? Who the winner of this would play next?
Yes, actually, I think the result of that race came in actually just earlier today. It was a Megawatt versus Werfjig, and Werfjig ended up taking the victory. So the winner of this is going to play Werfjig. Of course, that means that Megawatt is going to be knocked down to losers bracket, and as I think we mentioned this before, the losers bracket is really like don't let losers bracket actually like fool you. There are like some really scary names down there. It's I mean, like you get another shot, but it's like it doesn't really matter what path you take. Winners or losers, like it's still a scary road.
Yeah, single elimination is tough.
Yeah, and of course, you know, this being a randomizer tournament, you're always going to see, you know, upsets. There have been quite some notable upsets so far.
Yeah, that's been fun too.
I mean, it's just like and I think as also part of you mentioned this earlier, where you get to see like the reactions and like, you know, the faces of the runners, like especially when you're the underdog, and like the fact that you take on like what you consider to be like, you know, a titan, right, of this race. I mean, this just like the reaction is just it's like immeasurably happy.
Yeah, I saw when Hitsu defeated Walter.
Walter
broke down and
oh my gosh.
Well, how much better Walter is than Hitsu, so it happens. It's exciting.
Oh,
it's exciting to see when a lower tiered runner like Hitsu pulls out a win.
Yeah, lower tier seeded number 1 Hitsu. That's right. All right, so Ack is, you know, in Mire. It looks like he's still searching, unfortunately, which means that the big key looks pretty buried.
Yeah, not in the first 3 checks. Just going to be here, though, in the lobby, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, well, the hope, of course, is that it's not in cutscene chess. Do we finish everything on this side? Oh, I guess we have the map chest left?
Yeah, okay. Map chest.
I guess, like, the good news is that we don't have to go check the big chest. Oh, alright, never mind. We don't have to go through another cutscene. Actually, we didn't have to go through any cutscenes today, right? No hair basement. Which or at least, yeah, because both items were gone, and then no cutscene chest for Mire too. So
they did have to do an unnecessary cutscene for Pod, though.
No, that's true. That's true. But I mean, like, you know, like you're all the way out there, right? Like, there's no way you would not do that,
I mean,
right?
It 100% made sense. Yeah.
Alright, so let's hope that they don't have to do any more tile rooms for the whole rest of the seed. You know, we don't want the GT Big Key to be in its absolute last spot.
I mean, you can hope for that.
We already had an Aga today, right? You know,
I mean, Aga aren't that bad, like, right? I don't think doing Aga is that bad.
Especially, I guess, when you're on like Tempered Sword, right? That's
yeah. I think there's a perception that having to do Aga is a bad thing, and I mean, it's just another way of getting Dark World access. And if you have to do it, the only problem is when you do it and you don't actually have to do it, which I've seen before.
Oh, yeah. Like, so I guess in this particular case, right, this looks like Aga was their absolute last choice, right? But yeah, there have definitely been races that have been swung where runners maybe guess it's an Aga seed. Like, for example, I think there was actually a qualifier seed where they knew something was on Zora, and if you guessed it was the lamp, then, you know, it would have been an Aga required seed, and then you would have just, you know, gone up there, right? And so for actually those runners who were comfortable doing Dark Aga, that's what they, you know, some of them ended up doing that. Turns out Zora had the hammer, so it just gave you Dark World access right there, right?
Oh,
so
man.
yeah. Yeah, Akka. Well, so he wasn't certainly, I think, in danger of dying. Certainly not necessarily super comfortable. But
it's crystal number 7, correct?
That is crystal number 7 for Axe. So he is all ready to go up to Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, we like to play a little game. How many dead rocks does he encounter?
that is a great game. You know, here, Axe has Quake. Should we also throw in like how many squashes or yellow things that he encounters as well?
Definitely.
All right, did that one count? That he just like sped right through?
No, but he did get there's one. That's 3. We're up to 3, I think.
Oh,
I think that's
man.
a 3 count.
Is, kind of also, by the way, in those like rare, not for the seed, right? Or most seeds, right? Because, you know, they have the hook shot. But for those seeds, actually, that when like hook shot, for example, is in GT somewhere, I think it's a lot of kudos to runners who remember they don't have hook shots, so they know to take like the longer path, as opposed to like you run all the way over to the bridge and you're like, oh, and that's like I don't know, it's like a 30-second loss or something like that.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
Unfortunately for Scottish Brave, she's actually gonna lose a bit of time here doing the,
I see.
the cutscene.
Mm-hmm. I guess Maya routing is definitely a thing.
Yeah.
I think so. Like, if the big key is here, right? She does save time, right? Because it's like
she does. Yeah. If it happened to be here, but we know that it is not. So, and she's gonna have to. She has time to make up as Ack is already up on the mountain, about to open up GT.
Yeah, we certainly have seen races decided also by GT routing. I believe, I was going to see momentarily, that Ack likes to start on the left-hand side and go to Stavros room, guarantees himself a small key, and then goes right. Historically, that has been his route. You know, this is also a tournament race, so who, but you know, with a lot of stake on the line, so I guess we're gonna see it.
So he's hitting left. On the torch, we see 10 arrows.
All right, so that's check number 1.
And the big key for Scottish Brave.
Yep, so she's all ready to go down.
A heart piece, a small key, and 20 rupees.
Yeah, you can see Ack basically not having to slash any of the skeletons. That's probably the biggest benefit of this route, is you don't have to deal with those Stalfos at all.
Mm-hmm. Heart piece, compass.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, so this is actually quite the swing, right? Because so if you take, I guess, another popular route, which is you go hope room left, and then actually no, sorry, this doesn't cost that much swing, right? Because if you go hope room left, and then there's a small you continue, that like you're forced to basically go on the left side because you can't keep going.
Yep.
Okay, so Scottish Brave in this case, I guess there won't be very much variance. Most is going to be hope room visit.
All right, inside the compass room, you have 4 checks, starting with their first bottle. There we go, empty, of course. 10 more arrows. That's $20. That's $5.
Yep, that's it. All right, so we found our first bottle, so we can go check to see what sick kit has.
Yeah. All right, back left for Acktheboker.
Yeah, meanwhile, though, looks like ScottishBrave is already inside, checking on Vitreous with her silver arrows. That arrow, that eye, really traveled pretty far.
Next up, we've got 3 bombs for Ack.
It's not in tile room, right?
Still
like,
no
we know it's not in tile room.
There's still a lot of checks to go. Don't worry, Clemens.
Okay. That Stalfos, though, really gave Ack a run for his sword swings.
Yeah, he did.
Maybe that's why Ack likes to go left, because he doesn't have a good track record.
Couple tries with the red boomerang and gets it through.
Alright, yeah, so with that, Scottish Brave, after her claiming her 7th crystal, she's all ready to go up to the mountain. Meanwhile, I
wonder what this room is called. Like, there's got to be like an official. Are there names to rooms in this game? I don't think so, right?
Probably not beyond like the map. Like, I guess there might be names for like the chest. Like this chest has the maps of like the map chest. But I don't know. This doesn't have anything. And I think even the spoiler log, it says it's random room. But then again, spoiler log was for rando, so I don't know. I guess maybe this is actually something that we could look up in maybe like the practice hack for NMG, because like I guess I assume there's every room available, and there's some odd names in there too.
I don't think random room is on there though, because you would never go there in that. All right, so we're down to 4 checks before the last check in the tile room. Just bombs. All right, we've got
Yeah,
ice
we have
armust.
four more checks. It's definitely a very feels not good moment if you accidentally like mistime your bomb or something, and then you open the door, but you don't like have the chest. You're just like, well, I really hope the big T isn't here.
There's a heart piece. There's 10 arrows. One more.
Oh
It
my
is tile room.
gosh!
It's all your fault.
Oh, dude!
It's all your fault.
Ack is so happy doing tile room. Wow, I can see the excitement.
Look at the face.
If only I heard there was actually another GT basement running. I forgot actually the name, but it's something to the effect of like go big or go home or something like that. Where it's like if you find a small key in Hope Room, you go and then you do tile room as your next stop. You don't like go to Compass Room. So the tile if the big key's here, then you know like it's very you just high risk, high rewarded yourself. I really appreciate Ack juggling his boomerangs here in order to kill the tiles. I would like to explicitly point this out.
I don't appreciate this. I feel like this is showing off.
I believe Ack is also a big proponent of quick swap, so this is just a treat for us viewers.
I'm gonna have to dock him some points for that one.
So we're gonna have fantasy SGL, is that what it is?
Something like that. Alright, so now we got a gauntlet climb as Scottish Brave makes their way through again its tower. Nice bomb drop there. We'll have to do tower, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean and like we've certainly seen racers do tile room first, as part of their tournament races. More often than not, it seems to be accompanied with, I felt really, really behind, and therefore I did it. It's not usually like a, every conventional GT route is always left it for late.
Yeah, I don't feel like there's any reason for Scottish Brave to think I'm behind.
Yeah, exactly. So. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, and honestly, like, just looking at the routes, right, there have been some minor divergences, and other than that, like, it's basically been the same thing. It's... I mean, I don't want to say this race just basically came down to execution, but certainly execution had a very strong role in this. That was a really nice snipe arrow there on Ack's side, killing the second Blues Isaac. Wow.
Yeah, I've seen that done a couple times. It was alright.
You've seen looks like though. I mean, maybe that's just what he needs to do. I mean, why are we even using silver arrows to begin with? I mean, his archery skills with the wooden arrow is like amazing. Did Ack know this before?
Nicely done there on land mode 2. And Scottish Brave gets up to Bob's chest here. So, okay, so I said the seed was awful earlier. I'm going to amend that. I don't think the seed was awful. I said it was boring before that. I just think the seed was like, just kind of mean, right? Like, just.
It was mean?
Yeah, by like making it like a breadcrumb seed. And and then like the final like topper is, oh, you kind of just slowly have to go through the seed. Yeah, you have boots, but guess what? I'm gonna slow it down by putting everything in the tile room and
that's
just like
that's true. Yeah, I mean there are definitely like stuff that you had to like go to that explicitly had to cost time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like GT.
Like, oh, you want to be efficient? Guess what? I'm gonna put it in the least efficient place, and it's only gonna be like a small part of the seed, so it's going to open up just a little bit more.
Okay, so should we open up another thread of discussion for whether or not we should force the GT Vicky and not in tile room? All right,
I would force make it all tile room.
All tile room, every room. Man, that would I would like to play this game on like 4x speed if that's the case.
I think just add tiles to every room.
Is this like a parallel worlds ROM hack now at this point?
Yeah. All right, so Scottish Brave with the bad news has to do the last check, and we'll be doing that now as Ack gets ready to face Aggatu.
Yep, this is our second, third, and fourth wizards of the day. So hopefully Ack's going to be able to recognize which one is the real one.
How do you think Ack feels right now as he gets ready to kill Aggatu?
I hope he feels okay. Like I think very similarly to like Scottish Brave. Like I think they just must feel good. It's not like anything really bad also happened to Ack, right? Like he didn't do anything that was really super out of the way. He didn't make a decision like, okay, is it between A or B? And if I pick B, I got literally nothing out of it. It's just a big time lost, right? Like even when he cleared, you know, Helma, for example, like that was something very natural, and you were like right there, right?
Right.
All right, and I also don't know what Ack's tendencies are in terms of like race room, you know, watching. Like,
yeah,
I don't know if he's like nervous. But I guess maybe like if you are race room watcher, and you haven't been, you don't see the dot done yet from your opponent, like what do you do on Ganon? Are you constantly watching? Are you just like, do you close it?
I think you just, when you're on Ganon, I think I like to peek in before I do Ganon to see if I'm still in it or not. And then once Ganon happens, just focus on Ganon. Because if you're trying to focus on Ganon and watch the race room, you can tend to make mistakes.
Yeah, that's certainly true. We certainly have seen races lost on Ganon, or like infinite Ganon, right? That's an even worse feeling. All right, okay. Ack has 23 arrows, 22 arrows. He needs 3 more inside Ganon. Hopefully, he doesn't need 23. 1. Almost a triple. Looks like not enough room. Okay, with that. Ack is, look at this, he's all ready. He probably has like dot done, like ready to go. He is waiting for this fanfare, crossing this bridge, and then he will claim first place and move on to the round of 64 to face Roofjig in the winner's bracket. GG's, Ack, get your GG's out in chat.
Get your chat and GG's, everyone. All right. So it looks like Scottish Brave will continue on. I did see her give kind of that sly smile as Ack crossed, and she probably saw the dot done there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks like she is gonna.
Yeah, so unfortunately, it looks like we don't have a race room, so I'm not sure we can get official times. It looks like, according to this, Scottish Brave did forfeit. Ack, really quickly, apparently we don't have time for interviews, but GG's, please say something to us for your adoring fans.
GG, goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the commentary tracking. See you later.
That's how you do it.
That was awesome.
Yeah, we gotta get out of here because there's another race coming up. Appreciate everyone for hanging out. Clearmouse, thanks for doing this with me. Scott G,
thanks, Pierre.
For tracking. And check out more races. Lots of races going on SpeedGaming, including SpeedGaming Live and League stuff going on. So
and of course, GG's discount Brave as well. But thank you so much, and awesome, stay tuned for whatever's coming up next.
Bye, everyone.